Well, today is Halloween, which means the streets will be filled with kids in their costumes, trick-or-treating all over the heartland. And of course, we want to remind everybody of some safety tips to make sure not only do you have a fun Halloween, but a safe one as well. So this morning we have the Kirksville Police Department. We have Police Chief Jim Hughes this morning to give us some safety tips. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing great. Are you Captain America today?
Oh shoot. This is still on. This is my second job. I usually don't talk about this, but yes.
Yes. Well, I'm a pirate today,
All right.
so with I'm a ninja today. I'm sorry. That's okay. I'm a ninja. So, all right. First off, let's go ahead and talk about the number one main safety tip we need to keep in mind to make sure we are safe when we get home tonight.
Well, there's actually a couple of them.
Okay.
There's really not one. I mean, the first one I think has nothing to do with Halloween, and sometimes there's kind of a generational skip, and things don't get relayed the way that they should.
Mm-hmm.
And the old stranger danger kind of concept is, you don't hear about that much anymore,
Mm-hmm.
but it applies all the time, but certainly on Halloween it applies. We tell people to make sure that they only go to homes that they know, and that they never go into anybody's houses. And here's the thing, we used to tell everybody, only go into houses where you knew the person. But unfortunately, if you look at all the articles and all of the news accounts of incidents that have happened over the last 11 years, everybody that's been convicted of a child-related crime is somebody's neighbor. Mm-hmm. So you just never know. So we just say don't go into people's houses. Mm-hmm. The other one has to do with just being safe on the street. There's so many kids, so many cars, so many costumes like this one, which is a little hard for me to see out of this morning. Mm-hmm. I certainly wouldn't want to drive with this, and it would be difficult to walk around in a dark neighborhood with this on with obstructed vision. So be very careful of the costumes. Be very careful that you know where your child is going. Just those kinds of things, and be very careful when you talk to your child about being safe on the roadways and not darting out in front of traffic.
Now, speaking of that, what are the traffic laws when it comes to people crossing the street? I know people always say pedestrians have the right of way. Is that the case everywhere, or do they have to be in a crosswalk? Talk about those safety precautions.
Well, it's not an absolute right. People think that it is. If you're driving down the road and you just run out into traffic, that's not an absolute right. I mean, if there's no crosswalk, there's no crossing lights, those kinds of things. But those things don't really matter on Halloween. I don't even want to talk about those kinds of things because there's just so much different going on Halloween, and there's kids involved, and the kids don't know the laws. Mm-hmm. So throw that stuff out.
Okay.
Throw the laws out. You just have to be extra careful if you're going to a party, you're going over to some friend's house, you're taking your children trick-or-treating. There's a lot of little kids out there. They should be with adults, but sometimes they're not. They're running around, they're excited, they're in costumes where they might not be able to see out very well, or they might not be able to be seen. They're darting across the street from houses. Mm-hmm. They hear about this house having great candy or great toys or something. They just don't think, and they just dart around. So throw out those kinds of things. It doesn't matter whether you're in the right legally or not. If you hit a small child, you injure a small child, that's going to stay with you your entire life.
All right, and I'm sure that we'll have officers out there tonight doing some extra patrols, making sure everything is okay. What about suspicious activity? Finally, my last question. What are we supposed to do if we notice any sort of suspicious activity when we're out and about tonight?
Well, it doesn't have anything to do with Halloween. We tell people, you pay us to do a job. Mm-hmm. If you see something that looks suspicious, don't worry about us overreacting. That's what we get paid to do. Have you or your child, I'm talking basically to the parents now, not the children, make sure that they have a cell phone, you know where they're going, you know where their route is in case they don't get back when you establish a curfew, which you need to do. But anything that looks unusual at all, even if it turns out to be nothing, we'd rather go out and deal with that. What compounds a tragedy is a neighbor says, I saw something that looked a little odd to me, but I didn't want to bother you. That just compounds a tragedy. So we're out there. We're going to be out there. We're on duty.
Perfect.
That's what we do. Call us, and we'll come out and check it out.
Perfect. And what we'll do is I know that you did post some other safety tips. So what I'll do is I'll link up all of that along with the Kirksville Police Department's information if you have any questions or concerns. Thank you again for coming on,
Thank
Chief.
you.
And hope you have a safe Halloween
I
tonight.
hope everybody has a safe Halloween.
All right. Thanks.